Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sewing some strikes from Backstitch Prints. I'm sewing the Magic Hour 2.0 vinyl, which is absolutely gorgeous. And since I'm making a new bag, I figured, you know me, let's sew it together, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I have not done one before. I have my phone here with my instructions that I'm gonna read. I did go through them twice already, but I'm still going back and forth. So hopefully it turns out. Well, it's gonna turn out actually. It may not be perfect, but it will turn out. I'm using the Magic Hours. I'm gonna line it with waterproof canvas because I just didn't want to interface anything. I'm also using stunning new hardware from Wizardry Stitchery and some cool rivets, the Chicago screw rivets. So hopefully it will turn out the way I imagine it. A while back I've became obsessed. This is a little backstory and then we'll get to sewing. I became obsessed with that vintage Dior saddle bag. I don't know if you guys know it. It came in a few prints, but I love the white one, the white with gold. Oh, it's so pretty, and I can't afford the Dior bag right now. So I thought maybe I'll just hack a pattern or draft quickly a pattern to look like it. And then Yoshi from Best Auntie Ever shop. She's actually a real bag maker, not like me, not a pretend one. She's a bag maker and she has a shop. So if you want super good quality stuff, I'll link her shop in the description of the video. She's a super amazing person. So she said she made a bag with, I believe, a backstitch print that looked like that, like the bag I was obsessing with. And I told her, like, this is, oh my god, this looks like the Dior saddle bag. I've been thinking of hacking a pattern. And she said, no, you don't need to hack a pattern. There's one on Etsy. So she linked me to the Ujama Baguette Pony Express bag on Etsy. So I'm gonna link the pattern down below. This is not my pattern. This is made by someone else who, oh praise, have decided to do the pattern for people obsessed like me that don't want to draft their own. So I am so happy she pointed me to this pattern. So this is what I'm making. I'm making like a small crossbody. I don't think it's gonna be bigger than this by the time it's done. So it's really small. But it's so pretty, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna try to make that one. I bought the pattern. I do believe there's a story behind the Ujama baguettes. They do a lot of charity work. So go ahead and read that. I'll link everything in their Etsy shop here in the comments. So without further ado, let's get started. See what comes out of it. Okay, let's begin by sewing this connector pieces. I'm using this stunning connector from Wizardry Stitchery. How gorgeous is this? This is a piece of art. I swear, it's so pretty. And I already took my connector strap, which is an 8 by something, by 2 I believe. I split it in half to make the two connectors, and I'm going to do them a little different than the pattern because I'm using this gorgeous big connector on vinyl. It's easier to do it my way than the pattern, but it would yield the same result. So I am stitching. I'm adding this ½ inch sticky tape, my extra helping hand, to the sides. I love this tape. It's so perfect for making straps and connectors, the ½ inch one. It's one of those things I never knew I needed until I had it, and now I don't know if I could live without it. So I'm folding it in half. Okay, see how good it sticks? Nothing moves. Okay, I'm sliding through the connector, and now I'll bring everything on the back right here, because this will be placed on the gusset, like so. You want to make sure there's no raw edges. So I'll just add another piece of sticky tape right in here in the center. just again to be my extra helping hand. And I'm gonna butt these two ends together. Beautiful. So now there's no raw edge, and this is my connector strap. I'll just stitch it down. I'll try to not get too close to the connector. And I'll stitch like an L. Instead of doing a square, I'll do one like this and one like this. This way my foot doesn't touch the connector or scratches the vinyl. So now I'm coming from the other end. And providing I do it correctly. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other connector, and then we'll create the strap. I feel like this hardware was made for the magic hour round, like it's so perfect. And then I will add a rivet on the gusset when I add it. So now this is what it looks like with no raw edge. Let's do the same thing for the other side. Right after I get rid of this extra thread. Okay, so, oh, I already put it, perfect. Okay. That's how you get no raw edge straps or connectors. Okay, one more little piece here. In the center. And then I'm butting this end right in it. So the two ends are butted together. Aww, and now I have Carl and what's his name, the little boy? The little explorer from Up. I'm blanking on the name, I'm losing my Disney card. Russell, right? Doug is the dog, Russell is the boy, and Card is the old man. Raise your hand if you've cried watching Up. Raise your hand if you've cried watching Up every time you watch it. Oh, it's one of those movies. It gets you. So when you cut your gusset, if you have an image that you want to feature or it's a directional print, make sure that you cut the gusset, not the gusset, I'm sorry. Well, the gusset too, but the connector piece, the one that's 8 by 2, make sure that you cut it with the image going vertically, because that's how they'll look. Look, and there's a dog too. There's a dog. Right, so the strap connectors are done. I'm doing long crossbody. The pattern has two options actually. It has an option for crossbody and an option for a shoulder strap, like shoulder thing. I don't wear shoulder bags like this small, so for me it definitely has to be a crossbody. So we're gonna make the crossbody just like we do all the time. And I hope I have a gigantor. This vinyl is very thick, so you need like a gigantor slider. A regular one would not work. So if you're using a regular slider for the crossbody, I would recommend using cotton woven interfaced. So this is gonna be a double fold, regular double fold. So I'll probably end up speeding this in post-production. Ooh, I sound so fancy. When I edit the video. When I take out all the bloopers, meaning. I might speed this up. And this is the width of the vinyl. It's a 4 by width of the vinyl, which is 56, I think, something like that. And I didn't even remove the selvage because I'm going to fold that anyway. And I'm going to add a hard Chicago screw, I think, rivet. Just because it's so pretty. See how well this holds? It's amazing. Crazy good. Crazy good. It's not water soluble, but it's probably one of the reasons it sticks so well. I'll take non-water soluble versus less stickiness. Oh, and this pattern doesn't have any zippers. It has a hook and loop, which I'm still not sure if I'm gonna add, and magnetic tab on the back pocket. So I was thinking of adding a magnetic tab, magnetic snap instead of the hook and loop. I don't know, I have white hook and loop, it's not as pretty. So I'm thinking a rainbow magnetic snap would be prettier than the hook and loop. So now I'm just gonna fold it in half and add a ends. Another one bites the dust. I need a new box of clips. I lose at least 1 or 2 per project, but these are the very cheap one from Amazon, so not a big deal. Okay, 1/8 of an inch. Keep in mind you're sewing through 4 layers of vinyl right now, so go slow, or if you know your machine can handle it, just do your strap out of woven, interfaced woven. So pretty with that rainbow thread. I'm using Tex 80 rainbow thread. I think I'm going to do one more row of stitching, like a decorative one in the center, and it flattens the strap. Now this is very easy to miss the center, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to be good enough, not perfect. This line here, the yellow one, is a 1/2 inch mark. So with a 1 inch strap, this should be the center. Oops, I deviated a little bit there. Okay, so the strap is done. Let's add the hardware now. grab a Gigantor slider. Oops. This is Mama's last Gigantor slider. These are from Wizardry. Everything I'm using is from Wizardry. It goes without saying. So we're gonna need to first slide this here, and then slide this here, and then put a pretty swivel clip, and then once again up and down. So if you're not using these thick sliders, you won't be able to go through all of the layers. So now I'm just stitching it down. And again, right now I'm sewing through 8 layers of thick vinyl. So if this is something you think your machine won't handle, I do encourage you to use woven for the straps. Hope everyone is staying safe out there with these blizzards and everything else going on. I keep thinking about my Texas friends who are not used to this blizzard. All right. So this is done. Beautiful. So now I can slide it through the strap, because I'm using this thicker one. So now we just need to fold it on the other side, and this is where I'm going to put my rivet. I don't know if I've ever shown you these Chicago screw rivets that Melissa is carrying in her shop. It's the style rivet that, oops, ouch, that doesn't require any hardware. I love that about it. So I'm folding it 1 inch and I'm gonna sew it down. Now I don't know if it's if the rivet is thick enough for the 8 layers. I'll test it first. If not, I can just put a regular 9mm rivet. So I'm thinking 8 layers of this vinyl might be too much for the Chicago screw rivet here. However, it's not enough for 4 layers. So I think I'm going to add it to, I'll leave this the way it is, so my strap is ready. And this is a strap that I can use now for other bags. Up next, we're going to create that, it's called hook and loop strap in the pattern, but I think I'm going to do, instead of hook and loop, I'll put magnetic snap. So my apologies for grabbing the pattern, but I really don't know it by heart. We need the hook and loop decorative strap. Okay, so this is 1.5 inches. So at the 3/8 of an inch mark, I'll add a line here. And then I'll fold a 1/4 of an inch on each side to enclose the raw edges. So now I'm using the 1/4 inch tape instead of the 1/2 an inch. So this will create two, this is purely decorative, honestly. If you want to add your magnetic strap directly on the pattern, on the fabric, you could. I don't see why you couldn't do it. But I like the look. That's the whole point. I'm making this bag because I want the look of that Dior bag. Okay. So I'm folding towards the inside. Quarter of an inch like this. And let's do the same thing for the other side. So now I'm going to cut it in half because I need two 7-inch ones. I love this tape. Look, I don't even need to sew it. It just stays simply. Okay, so one will, this is for the hook and loop. One will have the grabby part, one will have the soft side, but I don't want to do that because my hook and loop is white and not pretty. So I want to do snaps because I have rainbow ones. Maybe I should have put some interfacing. So keep in mind, if you do snaps and you know you're going to just snag them like this, you might want to interface the part where you put the snap. Maybe I'll just cut a little piece of that little heavy and slide it in there. This goes, one goes on the flap and one goes on the front. Let's see. Placement for strap, this is the front. Okay. So one will go like this on the front, and I do believe it's enclosed, or no, yes, this one will be enclosed in the seams. So we just need to figure out where we add the hook and loop. Oh, the hook and loop is in the pattern where to add it, but I'm trying to figure out where to add the snap because I'm kind of want to center it, or no, closer to here to where it closes. So the flap will go around here. So the flap will go something like this. So you want to make sure that it will actually overlap, right? So I'm going to put the hook and loop higher up here. Not the hook and loop, the magnetic strap. So let's do it this way. The pattern says to start the hook and loop at 1/2 an inch from the center. So let's mark the center. This is the center of this strap. And they say to start the hook and loop here. So I'm gonna go an inch above the center. This way I know what mods I made to the pattern. Hopefully it will line up well with the flap. Oh, I mean, I will, yes. Okay, now, sorry, I was thinking aloud. Okay, so I'm gonna put my snap an inch above the center. So let me add a little bit of Decovil Heavy inside. Like right here. And that is because I really don't want to use the hook and loop, even though I do have it. Okay, you see, I have that Decovil inside here, just this part. Okay, we'll do the female snap here. I realize now that I should do it after I sew it on top, because then if I put my snaps like here, I won't be able to stitch down. My presser foot won't go there. So I'm gonna do this. I'm going to stitch this first here. Place it on the flap, on the front of the body, not the flap, sorry, the front of the body, and then add the snap. This way I won't be bothered by the snap when I stitch the sides, because the snap is basically just slightly smaller than this. Alright, so let's place it. I'm gonna fold this right here. I'm gonna put my pattern piece. So this is where it needs to come. And just double check it. And there it is correct. Okay, it's a little crooked. The tape is so good, and you can unstuck it and stick it again. There. Perfect. So now this is placed here. I can go ahead and stitch on the sides. This I can leave raw because they'll be enclosed in the seam. Okay, so now I can go ahead and add my snap. because see, I needed to stitch these 2 lines. And let's do this. Where is my seam paper? In the same spot. Very nice, and it's prettier than the hook and loop, no? Okay, I'll put an extra piece of deco glue here. For extra stability. And washer. Now I need to remember to make the same mods when I do the other strap. Perfect. Now I'm happy. See? And it's rainbow. It's a rainbow. You can't be wrong with rainbow, right? Cut the excess and set that aside for now. Let's work on the one on the inside of the flap. I'm pretty sure this is not the order in which the pattern is done, but hey. Okay. Alright, so let's add the part that will cover the flap. This will not include the snap, the female part of the snap. It's going to go right on the flap. Since I've made these changes, I'm definitely going rogue on the pattern right now. So this is my second piece of 7" that I just folded in half. And I'm going to stitch with an 1/8 of an inch, with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance here. If I did hook and loop like the Velcro, then this would have the Velcro on it. But since I put my snap a little higher than the Velcro would have been, and I'm not adding Velcro, then I'm going to put my other part of the snap directly on the flap lining. So take your flap piece now and the lining, and this is my flap with the castle, and I'm going to mark on the flap my placement for my strap. So my strap will be placed like so, right here, right sides together. This way when I flip it, it's going to go right on top of the first one that I put. Okay, so this I'm going to tack down so it doesn't move, and then I'll add the flap, the lining. Now I just need to measure, because I changed the pattern, where I'm going to add the other part of the snap. So I'll do this. Again, going rogue from the pattern. Oh, there it is. My flap lining, so it's a mirror image. It those right sides here. I'm going to just stitch on the bottom, just so I can get a feel for where the other snap will go. For now. Right sides together, go slowly around the curve and where you have your accent piece. Mine is vinyl on top of vinyl on top of waterproof canvas, so it's getting pretty thick over there. Okay, you're supposed to go all the way around. The only reason why I'm not going all the way around is to find the placement for my other snap. I'm doing like a child. See how beautiful this vinyl is? I'm not afraid to turn it inside out and right side out a few times for placement purposes, because I know it won't crease. It is so nice. Okay, so this will be how it goes here. Okay. I know from the pattern designer that this will match, like so. So now I have a feel for where my snap will go. You get what I did? So now that I've created this, I know my snap will go around here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw a little bit on the top of the male part to make like an imprint. Match these edges and do an imprint. There you go. So now see, I have a little dot there that will show me where the snap will go. So now I'm gonna just add the snap and a little bit of decorative heavy on the back. So it was a little higher than the strap, and that's probably because I changed the location with the snap than the Velcro. No big deal. See, we can work around it. And all this extra effort will so be worth it when I won't have to see the white Velcro. Nothing against who can look, but it's just like my bag is so elegant and so pretty right now, with all this fancy stuff on it, to snap like Velcro on it. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. See, I didn't even bring Velcro to the table. I so didn't want to do that. Okay, and then the decorative. And then my little washer. And that's it. See how pretty that is? Much prettier. So let me flip that back up to continue stitching on the sides. Okay. Because now I know where that snap is. So let me stitch the side seams. And then I'll flip and top stitch. And again, this is not following the order in which the pattern is written. That was my fair warning, heads up. And speaking of warnings, I didn't do my disclaimer, and I feel now that I need to do it every time. I'm not a bag maker, I am not a pro, I'm an amateur that just likes the process and likes to have custom bags. So my videos are never meant to replace any designer's tutorials. They're just a way to hang with me on YouTube and see how I sometimes fail, sometimes succeed. And now let's do a cute top stitching. Piping would have been nice here. The pattern actually shows you how to add piping to it. But maybe on my next one. You know what I want to make? I want to make a white one. So I need to grab some white vinyl. Maybe I'll do like the waterfall that Melissa carries, the Wizardry White Waterfall, quilted with rainbow unicorn main thread, like all the quilting on it, and then make this all white with rainbow hardware and quilted. How cute would that be? Beautiful. So we have our flap. Ready. Isn't this fabric stunning? Isn't it? Look how pretty. Just gorgeous. All right. Oh, I love it. Let's work on the other decorative strap. It's the one that comes down like this. There. So we're gonna do the same thing as we did with the hook and loop strap. So on the back, I'll place 1/4 inch on both sides. This is 1.5 inch wide, which means it will yield a 3/4 inch strap. If you want this to be a 1 inch strap, you will need to make it 2 inches wide. But I think it looks cute. The only issue is that I ran out of 3/4 inch rainbow D-rings. So see, this is a 1 inch D-ring, this is a 3/4 D-ring, both from Wizardry Stitchery. And I had rainbows, but I don't have them anymore. So I will go with a 1 inch hardware just to keep the color. I have both here because I was debating doing the 3/4 inch but in gunmetal, or stick to rainbow and do 1 inch. And this D-ring or O-ring, whatever you're using, is purely decorative. So if later you want to hang like a pair of Mickey ears on it, you could, if you have something to attach them with. So this is purely decorative. It has no function, this D-ring. So don't stress if you just keep it all together. Okay, so this strap is 13 inches long. So now we want to find the 6 inch mark and fold it over there. First, I'm sliding my D-ring. This is the one with the bar. See, it's a little bigger than this. Not the end of the world. So 6 inches right here. So at the 6 inch mark, I'm going to fold like so. And then I'll stitch all around 6, right? Not 5. Mark the 6 inch. Okay. So then I'll stitch all around the where we marked. Like I said, this strap is purely decorative. You don't even have to add it if you don't want to. The other one is like a closure, whether it's hook and loop or a snap like I did. It's a closure for the back. But again, if you don't mind the flap not being closed, you don't have to add the other one either. since I came too close to the metal hardware, I'm going to start from the other side now. So instead of stitching in like a square, I'm stitching like two L's like this. So my foot goes towards the metal bar. Beautiful. It looks so pretty. And I like this pop of blue. So this is what it would look like on the back. This part is just glued together and this is stitched. So now you want to take your flap, and again I'm not following the pattern order, and you want to come with this piece right here on top of the other one, right on top, not side by side, yes, on top. So right here I'm putting a clip right here, and we're going to stitch the 1-inch square, and this will remain loose like this. So only the part that we have not stitched before is the one that we're stitching now. Trying to get the needle right in the right position. Beautiful. And I think this was really the hardest part of the pattern. So this is loose and it's pretty on both sides since we folded. And here you can hang whatever you want or just leave it like this. I grabbed my gusset piece, which is a measurement, and then you have a pattern piece that you just cut the ends to make them prettier. I also grabbed a couple of Chicago screws and the 2 zipper tabs. So let's add the gusset to, and I do realize that this is not probably the way you would want it, the image to be. However, if I did put the image correctly here, then it would have been upside down on this side. So I mean, I prefer it to be horizontal than upside down on one side. So let's mark 1 inch away from, nope. Away from the edge. So 1 inch would be right about here, and then 1 inch on the other side. So this is where we'll place our gusset. Once again, I'll use a little bit of double-sided tape. To put on the gusset, because I know it will stick very nicely there. And I'm centering, okay, can you see this is my 1 inch line? I'm centering the gusset on top of the 1 inch line at the edge there. Okay, so now it's stuck, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. See how nice it is to help your extra helping hand? The same thing, I put my sticky tape here, and then my gusset centered at the 1 inch mark. Beautiful. Now you can stitch it down, you can rivet it on, you can do both. I'm putting the little screw and just twisting. No tools needed. And there you go. Look how pretty. So gorgeous. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So I'm putting a hole like here, centered. Okay. And then my Chicago screw with the castle. Because you have to, right? When you have this gorgeous bag, this gorgeous print, you gotta put the castle. And then the screw on the back, and simply screw it on. Super easy. Oh, so gorgeous. And they match the castle beautifully. Okay, let's put the gusset aside for now and create the front accent. So I'll be bringing back my front. Again, I'm not following the order in the pattern. I had a little blue accent piece that I will be stitching down here with the rainbow thread. And like I did before, I'm gonna add a little bit of double-sided tape to hold it in place until I stitch it down. And here you could do a little quilting, you could do a little riveting, any accents you think might work. Here. So I'll stitch it down first on the edge. Go slowly because it's a curved edge. Now, if I were patient enough, I could use a French ruler, a French curve ruler, and do some rainbow quilting. Like right, like some quilting like so, you know, but it would have to be so precise to look pretty that I'm kind of afraid of doing it. But that's an idea that just dawned on me. I could do that, or I could grab some rivets, some rainbow rivets, if I find them. Ooh, or no, these ones, the Mickey ones. I think you guys have convinced Melissa to carry in her shop. How about we add some rivets like this? It would be cute. Make it a little edgy. Ooh, that's what I'm gonna do. So now let's see if I can find a good location for them. And don't forget to not get too close to the edge, because you will have a seam allowance there. So be conscious of that when you add your details and your See, this one is too, it's not curved enough. So maybe I'll do one here, and then one here. I'm trying to follow the curve. Maybe one here. Maybe I should measure how spaced apart they are. So let's do them 1 inch apart, maybe. I have space enough for 5. So 1, 2, 3. Then this one should be a little higher, like here. And then another one at 1 inch. How many did I? Oh, I get 5. Okay, good. So let's do the 5. This one was too separated. What do you think? We'll do those 5. Maybe I'll speed it up. And maybe I'll do one more row of just 3. Whew, this is so cute. Okay, let's do the holes for the rivets. Now I'm shaking, because once I put the hole, I have to do something. Come from this side. So yeah, don't go with, if you do rivets, don't go too close to the edge, so you don't hit them when you stitch the bag together. So do I want them going vertically, or do I want them see? I do fly by the seat of my pants. Like this is stuff people, pros, usually have prepared ahead of time and thought about it, and this is not good. And where are the rest of them? The other sides. People planned, thought, measured ahead of time, not chatting and making decisions on the fly. But hey, it's my bag. There. So do we do it vertically, like this? Or do we switch it like this? What do we want to do? So the bag will be worn like this. Do we want it following the curve? I think I want them following the curve, then vertically. They are pretty decent spaced out. Okay, do we want more, or is that enough? 3 more? Things are getting out of hand. 3, no, 4. Or just 2, maybe? 2 and 1. Like this. Or is that too much? Okay, let's put this in their place first, and then figure out the rest. do it crooked. It is crooked. But why? Probably because I'm using a 9 post, and I probably need an 8 post. It's too big the post for the project, for not having added interfacing and all that. But hey, we'll work with what we have. Let me finish riveting this and I'll be back with the final decision. So I ended up going wild, but the fun wild, and added a lot of them. I know. And tip, because my post was 9 millimeters, I put a little fleece on the back for extra strength, and then they all fit perfectly. So the front is done, the flap was done, so let's work on the back pieces. The gusset is done, so now the back pieces. The back has a pocket that has a magnetic strap, snap. I'm probably not gonna add that, honestly. I don't really feel the need to add it there, so I'll just skip that. So we have a back bottom, then a back pocket, and a back top. Okay, so let's create the pocket first. Oh, I cut 2 linings. Why did I cut 2 linings? I don't know. I only needed 1. I needed this one. So let's start by creating the pocket. Right sides together, the main with the lining, very easy, just along the top. Super easy. Like I said, there is a snap in that attaches the back pocket to the back part. If you want to add it, I'll skip that. And I'm even tempted to skip the lining pocket, although I kind of use those for my phone, so maybe I'll keep it. Just don't want my videos to become like 2 hours long. I like a shorter video, but I also kind of like an inside pocket. So we'll see, a good compromise. Tell me in the comments, speaking of, do you like long videos or you prefer shorter videos? Because in my mind, I prefer a video not to exceed an hour and a half tops for a whole complete bag. So, but on the other hand, I don't want to skip parts and then not show something that you might want to see, you know? So let me know. I have some hissy fit stripes to sew this week as well, so maybe I'll squeeze in one more video, maybe. We'll see. How we do on time. Okay, so the back pocket is done. Again, this would have taken a snap here if you wanted to add one. And now we're going to add the flap, sandwiched in between the top so let me set that aside for now. You want to add the flap sandwiched in between the back top and the back bottom. Like so. And the flap will go on the front. So right sides together to the bottom. I want to see if it's centered. I think it is centered. Yes, it is centered. Okay, so you'll have on each side about an inch on each side. Okay, so now it's centered. Put a couple of pins. Again, right side of the flap to the right side of the back. And then right side of the top part goes on top. So now the flap is sandwiched. And we're going to stitch this down. I'm so excited for this bag. It's gonna look so good if it turns out the way I imagine it would. And if it doesn't, it cannot look bad. It's such pretty fabric and hardware, right? Okay, so now you want to top stitch, and I think I'm going to top stitch towards the bottom, like so. So the seam allowance goes towards the curved side. Beautiful. You guys like rocking roller coaster at Hollywood Studios? I love that ride. Just don't have anyone to go with me because my kids don't want to do it now. Alright, so let's put the pocket piece. We're simply adding the pocket on top of this. So now your pocket will be higher than the stitch that we've done here on the back. So that stitch won't be seen. So just following the same curve, matching the raw edges, we're going to stitch this down. Based in place, basically. So the back is done. Again, if you added a snap, you would have added a snap here too, to close this. But I don't want to. So we have the front done, the back done, the flap done. Let's just add the pocket to the lining. I know it has one pocket, I just need to remember which one. So that's the back with the pocket. And this is the front with the flap. And let's see, what do we have left? We have a zipper pocket on the inside. Okay, so two linings here. Oh, and this. I wanted to add the little charms. I need to figure out where to add them. These are super cute. The Mickey and Minnie. These are part of the pre-order as well. Maybe I'll do it on the zipper on the inside. Okay, so gusset, lining. Let's do the pocket. Let's create the lining right now. So we'll start, I actually started off camera because it's super easy to do the slip pocket. Your two slip pocket pieces, right sides together, stitch along the top, turn right sides together, and then just match the raw edges. Super easy, this slip pocket. Now we're going to do the other pocket, the zipper pocket. So I found the center of my top, then I found the center of the gusset, the facing, not gusset, the facing, and I'm matching at the raw edges here at the top. And you want to add some measurements to create the zipper hole. So you're gonna go 3/4 of an inch up, 1.25 or 1.25 inches down, and create a box that it's 1/2 inch wide, centered, just like you do with any other zipper. Okay, so I'm going to stitch her all around. To create that welt pocket. That I said I don't want to add, but then I'm adding anyways. I kind of like my pockets in my bags for keys, glasses, and stuff like that. So we're going to put a hole through both of them, and then that Y at the end that goes all the way there. Because I'm using waterproof canvas, this is a little stiff, so it's not interfaced. I'm turning my facing on the other side. And doing a little finger press. If you're using cotton woven, you can definitely do iron press. I mean, I could do it too with a pressing cloth, but hey, I just don't want the video to be even longer than what it is right now. Okay, so the facing is up, out. So right now let's add the zipper. Set that aside for now. It looks like this. So let's add the zipper to the zipper piece. This will go like this. So the shorter end will be at the top. So we're working on the wrong side of the zipper. We're adding the zipper along the bottom. So again, on the wrong side of the zipper. I'm using number 5 zipper because I don't have any number 3 zippers. But for this step, the pattern designer does recommend number 3 zipper. But I mean, I've made already so many changes to the pattern that I think one more is not gonna be the end. Okay. So now I'm stitching this to here. Yep. So now the stitching that I did with the zipper goes on the facing. So this is wrong wrong side up, or no, right side up, and it goes like this at the top. Oh. confusing myself. I was correct the first time. So with your zipper right side up and this pocket the wrong side up, the one that we just worked on right now, you're gonna take your pattern piece and flip it so the right side is towards you. Just like I did initially, then I second guessed myself. So now, let me remove this. Oh, we can actually put 1/4 of an inch tape right along the zipper here on the edge of the bottom. And this once again will be our, say it with me, helping hands. Okay, so along the bottom right here. And I'm placing the opening centered along the bottom. So the facing is 8 inches, just like this is. So you can align the raw edges of the facing and the pocket because they're the same length. There. So let me show you from the other side how it looks like. So you have your right sides up here, then your zipper right side up too, and then the pocket wrong side up that way. So now I'm stitching along the bottom. And I'm trying to make sure the zipper is centered. Like the zipper coils are centered in the hole, in the opening. Okay, decent. Not perfect, but decent. This is one of those things that I figured people would like to have on a video. I know I would. Okay, so I'm just stitching the bottom part, and that's it. Okay, see, just stitch the bottom. So now you're going to come and bring this down, and you want your zipper top over there. I'm wondering why I have the wrong side in here. Because now you want to lift this up. I might have put it the other way around. I got confused by the designer decided to switch it up on me with the dots versus like plain gray. So I think this was supposed to be wrong side inside, but well, I don't care. It works the way it is right now. So now I'm going to stitch around here. It changed throughout the pattern, the color and the graphic for the right side and wrong side. And that's why consistency is important. Consistency. So I'm guessing when we stitch the zipper, it should have been stitched to the wrong side. No big deal. It's gonna be waterproof on the inside now. The waterproof part is on the inside of the pocket. Again, nobody will see the inside of your pocket. And now we're gonna go ahead and stitch all around here, that little L, well, U, around the zipper. Again, keep your zipper centered as best as you can. Your zipper tape. Where do I have that corner outside now? Oh well. It is what it is. I think I'm going to buy one of those rolling carts to have it like here with me when I sew. So maybe I'll find things easier, maybe, then put them all on the table next to me. Okay, so this is your pocket, and now we have everything done. Everything, all the lining, the gusset, everything is ready. We just need to put it all together. Ta. Okay, let's start with the lining. So we have a gusset. Oh, and this is why I use this zipper, because I can add my little charms to it. That's why I put the zipper with the hole. 1, 2. I have a Minnie and a Mickey cupcake. Look how cute. Aren't these adorable? These are up for pre-order as well. Ta-da! And because they're in the bag, I'm not afraid that I will lose them. Okay, so let's start adding the gusset. We're going to start from one end, and we're going to pin it all around. And then we'll repeat this step 4 times. Well, 3 more. 1 for the other side of the lining, and then 2 more times for the main part. It might help you if you do some snips along the gusset especially because you're working with so many curves. You're adding a straight edge to a curved edge. So doing all those little snips would definitely help. Okay, so let's stitch this down. It wouldn't be a video without me dropping stuff, right? Okay, that's one lining. Same thing for the other lining, right sides together. And just like we did before. I'm gonna do a couple of snips here. Not too big, but just big enough. So less than 1/4 of an inch, but big enough to help you when you attach the curve. And see if you prefer to stitch from one side or the other. Like sometimes I prefer to stitch with it flat, which means with the front down and the gusset up. Sometimes it's easier to stitch the other way around, with the gusset towards the bed of the machine. You figure out what works for you. The lining is done. Oh, so cute. I'm so happy I'll have one of these bags now. And let's work now with the front, the gusset, and well, this is the front, the back, the gusset. So keep that away. Let's start by putting this strap away. You don't want to catch this in your gusset. I want this to be like this, which means the gusset will go here. Again, keep your hardware away from wherever you're stitching. And as you can see, I did not interface my vinyl. It's thick enough that I really don't want to interface it. But it's also flexible enough that it's going to be super nice to sew the curves with it. Keep your hardware away. Don't get that snagged in the needle. And see, this is why I said we need to do the rivets away from the edge, so it doesn't hit the needle. Okay, couple of snips here too. Again, the snips go on the gusset part, because that's the one that's flat. See what a difference they make? Okay, so let's stitch. Slowly and gently, don't hit your hardware. Beautiful. See? This is how it looks like when you did the snips. Nice, pretty curve. Let's do the last one, which is the back on the other side of the gusset. Same thing, I'm laying my back like this, right sides together. Keep the hardware away. And align the raw edges. Okay, let me do my snips now before I get here. It's a small bag. I figured it would be small based on the pattern pieces, but it fits a wallet, a pair of sunglasses. What else do we need at the park? I can hook a pair of magic ears, of Mickey ears, to the front on the decorative thing. I don't need much else. Sunshine. That's all. And I'll try to stitch it this way. Do your best and go slow around the curves. Gorgeous. All right. Let's add the lining now. So what are we turning first? Are we turning this and putting it in the lining? Or are we turning the lining and putting it on this? We need to have this right sides together, so I'll turn the lining. Well, what is going on? This pocket is on the wrong side. There. Okay. The lining is good now. It looks like this. I'm going to slide the lining in the main, and we're going to stitch all around the top, but we're going to leave an opening to turn it. Push your first, before we put this, let's push the flap inside. Okay, so the flap stays there. Now we're gonna add the lining. And we're going to match the side gussets. Like so. And we'll stitch around the raw edge at the top, leaving an opening on the back. And I'm gonna leave a pretty big opening because I'll top stitch it anyways, so the opening will be closed with the top stitching. So here on the back, the bigger the opening you leave, the easier it's going to be to turn it, so why torture yourself? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna leave the opening kind of like in between those points where the zipper pocket is. Okay? We are so close to the end. Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. Moments like this, I wish I had a free arm industrial. I will not buy another machine, but I wish I had one. So if anybody wants to gift me a free arm industrial, I'll take it. I'll find some room for it. Okay, keep your raw edges aligned. Made it to the other gusset, and then we're going to stop where the pocket starts. Before you turn it, double check that all the stitches are done properly. Like everything is caught in the stitch, like here. I would prefer a smoother transition. So I'll fix that right here. It's easier to fix your errors before you turn it than after. Okay, moment of truth. So we're gonna turn the back through the opening we left on the back, and I'll start with the flap. And then grab the lining, and then grab the main. Threads here to clip. So I'm putting my hand inside and I'm grabbing the main from here. I love this pliable vinyl. Like, I'm not afraid it's gonna wrinkle. Look what I'm putting it through. And it's not gonna budge. Just wait and see. Okay, this is not. This is real stuff. Real torture of the vinyl. I'm going to push the lining inside, top stitch, and we're done. Oh, and a strap end would have been nice here as well. Whoa, that's my heart smacking the table. Sorry about that. How adorable is this? Okay, this pocket does not belong here. This pocket goes here. Alright, let me put a couple of pins here, like clips here at the top before I top stitch, just to push down the side. Careful when you top stitch here, because you have a lot of layers if you used vinyl, like a lot of layers. You might want to skip that part when top stitching. So pretty. It's so pretty, I can cry. I'm totally gonna make the white one that I'm envisioning. So a change that I'm gonna make if I make this bag again, and I probably will, I'll move the gusset, the facing for that pocket a little lower. I feel like that pocket on the back, it's too high and it creates too much bulk here. I think I'll move that one a little lower next time. Same this one here. Because now I have so much stuff that I need to top stitch through because I have the facing. It was not needed to be that high. I just want to push out everything to make sure before I top stitch it that everything looks good. It's a small bag, but it is so pretty. Yeah, I don't like the bulk here. I want to remove some of this bulk. It's useless. There's no need for all this bulk of the facing here at the top. Much better. It was becoming too hard. Another thing you could do if you want to avoid what I'm doing right now would be to birth it. This is how the pattern does it. It births it through the top. You could leave an opening on the inside, on the lining, where you have like a straight line, or maybe at the bottom. Not on a curve. Try not to leave the opening on a curve. Leave it on a straight edge. Not many straight edges in this pattern, but find one and leave it there, and then you won't have to deal with this at the top. Because of the flap, it also gets difficult to sew in here, but we'll work with what we have. There. Okay, so now we need to stitch all around, and then we're done. I would have loved to have the rainbow here, but I think it's easier to just stitch like this. I don't know. From the inside. Yeah, probably easier from the inside. So I'll start here. So that means the rainbow will be on the lining, the rainbow thread, but I have black thread in my bobbin, so it's gonna be fine. Try to get it, if you can, at 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, if you can. I already moved past 1/8 of an inch. Do as I say, not as I do. Kind of a situation. Again, taking donations for a free arm industrial. Keep your flap away when you stitch here at the top. Not perfect by any means, but cute and functional, and from a distance it looks beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. So glad I went with the yellow and blue for accents. Push my lining right now. So nice and straight. Okay, final review. We did it, we did it, we did it. And the moment of truth, my winged snap matches. Okay, where is the prince that we created? We can hook it up. Oh, so pretty. Oh my god. Look how gorgeous. I'm gonna leave some clips here on the edge for a couple of hours, since I can't iron it. If you leave some clips with the edge taut like this, it will stay, make it stay. But for now, so this is my finished bag. It's so cute. So again, this is the Pony Express by Ujama Baguettes. You can find the pattern on Etsy, it will be linked here. I'm using vinyl from Backstitch Prints. I used waterproof canvas from lining I got on Amazon. All the hardware and the pretty rainbow stuff comes from Wizard Stitchery and Crafts, including this brand new amazing connectors. They really pack a punch. And the blue, I think it's from Joanne. It's marine vinyl from Joanne. So thank you again for sewing with me. Keep an eye on the Backstitch group for the next pre-order. Keep creating. Let me know what you want to see, and I will see you back in my next one. Bye!